9th July 2011, I'm sure the whole South Sudan will stand up to sing the national anthem. And I'm sure it's a day everybody's waiting. It's a day everybody is waiting to see how it's going to go.
After 20 years of war, the African country Sudan splits into two nations. 1.5 million people were killed and the violence had to be stopped. The United Nations, African Union and European Union joined hands and came up with the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, CPA.
100 days ago, the Security Council was here, and there wasn't a single person. I met with all of them. Not one person that thought that this government could put together and pull together an election on time. That's a real testament to how President Salva Kiir has handled this, by bringing in rivals, by bringing in rebels, and making deals with them early on. That's a really smart political move.
Yeah! Go back to our places.
Former military commanders from various tribes became politicians. Dr. John Garang, figurehead from the South Sudan People's Liberation Movement, died in a helicopter crash in 2005, 2 months after signing the peace deal with the North. Salva Kiir, also a former rebel leader, was his successor, and he became the first vice president of Sudan and the president of South Sudan. John Garang is still a potent figurehead of the movement. His widow is present during President Kiir's liberation speech.
I believe those of Dr. John and all those who died with him are with us today, and I must assure them that they have not died in vain. Thank you.
For the people of Southern Sudan, it's good, and I'm happy to see, because it's what Dr. John was saying, that we have brought you a peace in a golden plate. Me and my colleagues who have experienced the bush life, we brought you a peace.
98% of the people of South Sudan voted in favor of independence from the North. Part of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement is the work of the Oversight Task Force. The task force is responsible for post-referendum transitional arrangements. International advisors are present during the negotiations. An important target is the constitutional reform. Vice President Riek Machar, former rival to President Kiir, is the chairman of the task force.
It's a big process. We have 59 objectives. I do not know when we will finish, but I hope we will finish before the 9th of July.
The upcoming split has caused serious unrest in the contested oil areas such as Vangak, Abyei and Kordovan.
People were killed, villages were annihilated, and nothing, no CPA, no government of Khartoum, no government of Southern Sudan, no JIU, no UNAMIS have protected the people of Abyei.
Under military protection, we decide to visit the local governor Simon Kun. His border region is constantly under pressure.
You know, the border demarcation, they went there to see and put down reference points. But what they did is that they were actually making demarcation zigzag. They take it as far as the north. And then they go back again to the line. Then they go to the north. When they see that there is a good oil production there, that they may have a good oil, they go and take it and they go again.
Dr. Riek, hello, how are you?
It's a long time.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
There we are.
Sir Derek Plumbley, head of the Assessment and Evaluation Commission of the CPA, is also concerned about the situation. 2 tribes in Abyei are fighting. According to the UN, the current conflict has led to hundreds of civilian casualties and displacement of 90,000 people.
Even in Syria, if they fear that Ngok are going south, that's a reality. If they want to be part of the south within that Abyei, let them say it.
Governor Simon Kun believes that the local tribes should be involved in the peace process.
They have historical knowledge about that area. They have been there. They were born there. And the relationship, both sides, is well known to them.
But on your model, if you hadn't reached an agreement, a full agreement on Abyei, would you say, okay, we'll carry on talking after that as two independent states?
Yes.
Or would you would?
You would.
You would.
We would.
You need some sort of arrangement which stabilizes the situation on the ground, actually. I mean, I think it's,
it's
a bad situation on the ground.
Get the UN there.
Yeah.
Get the UN, because I'm an independent state. I feel independent.
Yes.
After months of negotiations in the run-up to the Independence Day, the talks between the North and the South intensified and a peace deal was reached.
Basically, we're discussing issues that will form the basis for an agreement that will define the relationship between the government of Southern Sudan or between Southern Sudan and Northern Sudan as two independent states. And this include economic issues. How do we relate to ourselves in the oil area, currency, banking, debts, as well as assets of the Sudan.
The Security Council is establishing a UN peacekeeping force for the disputed Abyei area.
The night valleys, forests and mountains shall be our sources of joy and pride. South Sudan.
On July 9, 2011, Sudan will become the 54th state of Africa.
Now this is the last version of